So it's been around a month since I've actually posted a YouTube video, and in that time I've actually got myself a full-time job working at a film lab and processing films day in, day out, and I'm absolutely loving it. In the meantime as well, you can see I've changed my background and I've also been shooting quite a fair bit amount of film. So in today's video I'll be going over my new favourite film stock, and that is Ektar Pro 100, and I shot it for 35mm. Prior to shooting this film, I absolutely loved Kodak Gold 200, and that is still my beginner's choice for film because it's just great. The colours are amazing, it's really cheap, but I really wanted to try an expensive film stock out, and my word, this film was absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't have too much B-roll of the day of me actually photographing with this film, but I do have the whole roll of film that I do want to share, and that is pretty rare. I don't normally have the whole roll, so I'm very excited to show you, and hopefully you'll enjoy the images. So I'll set the scene for you. It was an absolutely pissing wet day and we had a car show that we wanted to go to. So we waited till the afternoon for around 2 PM and luckily the weather had picked up, so we decided to go. Of course, we took the Beetle, and this is where I took my first shots of my Ektar Pro 100. And a fun fact, the camera actually died on me whilst taking the first shot of the day, and it needed some more AAA batteries, and luckily we had a few just lying around at home, so to pick some up and then go back out again. And I'm actually quite surprised that the shot even took, because the sound was like it shot the shot, but the shutter sounded like it was still open, even though I looked at the front and it had like a slight gap in it, so I thought that I'd lost that shot. But I didn't. The shot's okay, it's nothing great, but I'm just glad that it didn't actually mess up the rest of the film, and it's great to add to the Beetle shot collection, something that my dad is very happy with. But as I mentioned, it was a pissing wet day and the weather obviously was then quite gloomy towards the afternoon, and Ektar Pro 100 is an ISO of 100, so I didn't know if that was going to be enough light sensitivity at all really to have like a gloomy day, but I paired it up with my Minolta 7000 AF camera with a 50mm prime, and it goes down to f1.2 or f1.8, can't quite remember, one of the two, it's not too different, and the shots that I got, I was extremely happy with. This combo just worked out so well. So on the box you can see it says world's finest grain, and they really aren't lying. A lot of these shots you can hardly see any of the grain whatsoever, and I'm just blown away by how good it looks. It's something that I'm planning on getting printed quite big, quite a lot of these shots. I do have a wall, I realised I was going to point. It's over there, you can't see the wall, it's pretty empty at the moment, hence why I've got all this stuff here, because everything from over there has come over here, and I'm pretty happy with the background. I hope you like it too. But anyway, I want the shots pretty big. I'm hoping to have them maybe A1. I do need to look on the print index and to see if I can blow these images up that big, but with how fine the grain is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. So with the combo that I mentioned of having my Minolta 7000 AF and my 50mm prime, the ISO of 100 really wasn't an issue. I don't think I went down to f1.8 at all. I think I stayed around f4, and then I think I went up even when some of the sun came in, maybe around f11, and it held out beautifully. And also with the shutter speed, I think it held out around 1/100th. For some of the really slower shots, I say really slow, 1/100th isn't slow, but I usually shoot at higher ISOs, so I'm usually used to shooting at around 1/250th and actually up to 1/500th on some days, because it's really bright and I just have got cheaper film stocks with higher ISOs, so the speed needs to be faster. So being able to shoot at 1/100th and 1/160th, it was just a sweet spot. It was beautiful and I was very happy with some of those shots, and I was quite surprised because I don't obviously shoot at those speeds very often, and with how well focused some of the shots were, I know I've done it and I'm not going, look how amazing I am, but I'm just very happy with how a lot of these images have come out, even though they have some darker settings. And that is something that can be an issue from what I've read online to do with Ektar Pro 100. The latitude is pretty poor, so your overexposed images don't hold as much detail as quite a lot of other images, so it's best not to push the film, and obviously it's not great as well in some of the darker settings too. This is what I've read online. Some of the shots that I've got, I can see where you can see a little bit more grain in the shadows and there's a little bit lesser detail, but I think that's being really nitpicky. I don't really notice that too much. I guess if you're in a very, very professional setting, I can understand it making an impact and making a difference on your shots. But for general hobbyist photography and you just want to try a really nice film stock, this is definitely a go-to. And with the images on screen now, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. My favourite thing about this film stock isn't just the ISO, it isn't just the fine grain. I absolutely love the colour profiles. If you know me and you've been following my work for a little while now, I really like my images to be on the warmer sides of stuff, and I've been trying to find a film stock that really hits the nail on the head, and for me this is Ektar Pro 100. This sounds like a crazy session of, oh my god, look how amazing Ektar is. It's just the film stock that I've found that is just beautiful for my workflow and the stuff that I like to photograph. I know this is my first roll. I'll probably come across a couple of hiccups going forward if I use this film stock a little bit more, but I'm just very, very happy that I've kind of found my sweet spot. As you can see in the images, the greens and the reds have held up beautifully, and this is definitely one of my favorite shots of the day. And I have edited some of the shots, and I know this is a bit of a talking point amongst film photographers, but personally I like to edit my images just a little bit just to bring out some of the colors. But to be honest, I didn't really tweak the images too much at all. They were pretty spot on coming out of camera. But the film itself is just very contrasty and has quite a lot of saturation if you meter it properly. And I think this is probably going to be one of my go-to films from now on, just in general. And if you hadn't guessed that from the amount of, oh my god, this film's amazing, as you've heard throughout this video, but I couldn't recommend it anymore. But the one thing that does need to be mentioned is its price. At the beginning of the video, I obviously mentioned Kodak Gold 200, which is around £9 a roll in the UK. Obviously you can find it at varying costs. But this roll of film is £18, which is quite a big jump, and I personally think that Kodak Gold 200 is great. I also think that Ektar is great. It just depends on where you are in your film journey, how much you can spend, and realistically what colours you do want to get, and how kind of precious your film images are. Because if you are really into your film photography, if you are really, really enjoying exploring different film stocks and you have a little bit of a higher budget, the Ektar Pro is a definite go-to. But the Kodak Gold 200 will also do a brilliant job. So usually at the end of these videos, I do like to go over my top 3 images. But if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really have a top 3 for this. I'm kind of leaving it up to the air for you guys to decide what your top 3 is, and if you can let me know in the comments below, that would be absolutely amazing. I do have some personal preferences. I do like the shots where it's looking through the window at a slight angle. I really like the car wheel shot. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Very red orange car, very plain image, but I love the color contrasts. And finally, I do really like these 2 images. I think they're a great pair, and a lot of the cars on the day were red, and having a really stark contrast with the blue, I'm very happy with those 2 shots, and I think they pair really well together. For the life of me, I cannot remember the car model, and it's killing me as I'm recording this video that I can't remember what it is, but I'm very happy with those 2 shots. And hopefully throughout this whole video I've shown the whole roll of film. That's what I'm planning on doing. So yeah, let me know what your favorites are in the comments below, and if you've enjoyed any of the images shown, I do actually post these, and I will be posting these on my Instagram at Grenney Creates. It's the same as the YouTube handle, so you can find me pretty easy over there too. And finally, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It's 2 clicks of a button and it really helps the channel. And I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and fingers crossed I will see you on the next one.